Hi, this is Brian Van and Ryan Stretch. Peace check from Sport Bike Track Gear, sportbiketrackgear.com. Today we're going to do a quick video review on a cool new product from Hotbodies Racing. It is the MGP slip-on exhaust. Here is the canister. Nice carbon sleeve, stainless construction, tidy welds. Canister's kind of small, looks MotoGP style, huh?
Very nice.
Not bad. You got a little stainless steel connector pipe. Comes with a clamp on it for this R6. What year is your bike?
It's a 2006.
2006 R6, super common motorcycle.
Yep.
Great quality construction here. The can doesn't have any badging on it. Inside the box I'm looking at a total of 4 stickers to use for badging, right? We've got a couple of Hotbodies stickers and a couple of MGP exhaust stickers, so you can put some badging on it if you want. We're going to see if we can't get this thing installed and running in 10 minutes. Let's just hear the exhaust note with the stock exhaust. A little comparison. Kind of boring. See if we can't change that a little bit. This bike, realistically, it's not a big project. You'll notice that we already took the fairing off the motorcycle to try and help accommodate our lofty goal of a 10-minute installation, okay? I am right now taking off the mounting bolt, okay? This motorcycle has one of those fancy valves built into the exhaust system to restrict it at lower RPMs, okay? We are going to be eliminating that as it is part of the slip-on. It is a servo-operated, cable-driven mechanism. We're going to remove the cables to make for a nice clean install on this bike, right?
Yep.
What I'm taking off right now is a little heat shield that kind of covers the cables, okay? And this is all part of getting those cables on out of there. Off comes the cover with 3 Allen bolts. And there you can see the cables and the valve. On this bike, I'd looked at it before we started. Looked like I'd need to remove the brake reservoir. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So far, we've used a 4mm Allen. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to loosen up and remove the actual servo motor. Give you guys a little bit of a look at that. To do that, I'm using an 8mm socket. Has a little magnet in it. That's just going to help me hold the bolt so if all goes well, it doesn't fall down into the bike. If it does, wouldn't be a huge deal because it should fall out because we have the fairing off. There's that. There's one more on the other side. Really not too big of a job. I think most people could do this on their own, eh, Ryan?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think you have to be Mr. Wizard to get this one done.
Pretty basic tools. I mean, you have 2 Allens and, 3 open-end wrenches, a 10, a 12, and an 8.
About the fanciest thing I'm using here is that magnetic socket, and I mean, the truth be told, I don't think you even really need that.
Yeah, you can get your hands in there.
Our muffler clamp here on the stock muffler utilizes a 5mm Allen. Go ahead and loosen that up right now. I would suggest saving all of the stock stuff that you're removing, right? A little warm, we've been running the bike. Okay. Because, let's face it, when you sell the motorcycle, you might want to keep this and sell it separately, whatever the case may be. It's always smart to keep most of the stuff that you remove from your bike. Okay, loosening up the nuts here on these cables a little bit. Let's go ahead and get those off the slip-on. There's probably 10 different ways to do this. I'm just going to do here what feels good for me.
What bracket is that?
That is the bracket that holds the cable assembly to the rear set. Now we're going to go ahead and grab a hold of the servo motor. I'm going to unplug it so I can pull it a little farther out. Move some of the wiring to the side here.
And why would you remove the cables in an application like this?
Nice clean job. I mean, realistically, I suppose you could let them hang if you wanted to, but you need to leave that servo motor on the bike so you don't have a fuel injector light on, right? Keeps the computer happy and in balance. And if you just left the cables, I mean, the computer would be moving the cables and nothing would be happening, and it just would look like you did half the job. right, instead of doing the whole job. So in my mind, you know, it's your motorcycle. Most of us take a lot of pride in our bikes. You know, it's kind of a big part of the hobby. The right thing to do is get these things off. You certainly have no use for them with the slip-on. There's that. I'm going to go ahead and slide this thing back in. Remember, plug it back in. The whole reason we're leaving it there is to keep the fuel injector light off. So you don't have to stare at that while you're riding around. Go ahead and slip that back in there. And here is one of the mounting bolts for it over here. Get that threaded in there. If you want to go ahead and slide that gasket and flange off of the little factory undermuffler there.
Not too much to it, just 2 pieces there. We don't need those for the exhaust.
Yeah, we're definitely going to leave a few parts off today. And I think at the end we're going to have a nicer exhaust note, right? And certainly a better look. Tightening up the bolts for the servo motor right now. How are we doing on time there, Nick?
You got 4 minutes.
Got 4 minutes. We might actually make our 10-minute goal here.
Pretty much just putting back together what you just took off.
Yeah, that's all. You know, rear brake reservoir. You know, realistically, this video is more about more than being about showing you how to put it on this bike. We're showing you the quality of the product and giving you an idea of our opinion. On this, as with any exhaust, before you tighten anything up, let's put it all together, right? On this R6, we need this nut right here, okay? So when you get the package for a Yamaha R6, don't think you're missing something, you're not. Take a little screwdriver like this one, go ahead and pry that loose, okay? Slide your nut out here. The nut is going to go on the back side like so, okay? Bolt through, nut.
Looks like a pretty simple install, 2 bolts. One
Right.
over there, one on the clamp.
And now, because of the way this is set up, once you tighten up this mounting bolt, okay, you can go ahead and tighten that clamp. The way this particular bike is set up, I'm going to use a backup wrench there. Make sure the stuff is tight. You don't want to lose it. A little 10mm socket here for the included exhaust clamp, and that's a nice clamp too.
That's very nice.
It's going to do a good job. It's going to seal real well. You don't need to crush everything, just get it nice and snug. Here is the super cool canister, little shorty, MotoGP style, supplied spring.
That spring basically just holds the can with pressure as it slips onto the actual mid-pipe.
It's going to help to seal it and make sure you don't lose it at the same time. I just stretched that with a pair of pliers. Got a nice clean look. For sure. I mean, this thing, that really makes a big difference on this bike.
Oh, definitely.
And now for the most important thing, let's start it up, man. See if it sounds better. I dig it.
I like it.
And I think for well under $300,
Yep.
the MGP exhaust from Hotbodies is a great value.
Definitely.
Definitely a great value. And now that you've got a slip-on, maybe you can fix this coolant leak. Nick, you want to catch that for him right there, okay? Maybe we should fix that now that it sounds great, huh?
Yep.
So there you have it, MGP exhaust, all new from Hotbodies Racing. We're going to give it absolutely 2 thumbs up.
Definitely.
Beat the value, I dare you. A cool slip-on for under $300.